Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak as the red Zerg, we have the winner of WCS UK. Unfortunately, going a game down here. Can he bring it back? He certainly has the skills to. The Wizard Zerg himself, we have Ziktomini. And his opponent, spawning in the top right-hand position, representing Team Dignitas, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of I-46. Can he close the series out 2-0? We'll find out soon. It is JonnyREcco. So a pretty entertaining long game number one. These guys obviously respect each other quite a bit. They are, of course, both UK-based Zerg players. So let's see. Whoa, okay. So we're going to fling in the 10 pool coming out here from JonnyREcco. And we're going to be throwing a curveball to see if we can get a very quick win here in game number two. Double extractor trick coming out from him as well. And in the meantime, it looks like Zikto is going to be going for... No, he is going for his pool first. That's good. It's going to be a lot harder if he went for his hatch first, of course, but he is going for his pool. And this might end up transitioning into a normal game. JonnyREcco's going to have to try and get as much damage done early on as he possibly can. And the pool is now complete. We have the first lings on the way from JonnyREcco. But it's a very long rush distance here on Daybreak. It looks like it's very quick, natural to natural, but it's a very long, windy, snaky road. And oh, very nice. Ziktomini hiding the drone, building the hatchery so that JonnyREcco wouldn't suspect and block it himself. But that drone scout really was just to make sure that the lings might be able to do a bit of damage there. And JonnyREcco now going to be moving out across the map with lings of his own. Zikto probably going to be putting down a spine crawler, maybe. Let's see if he opts to do that. The lings have actually already walked past Ziktomini's Overlord on JonnyREcco's half of the map. I wonder if he caught that. And yes, he's making 6 lings of his own, so he knows what's incoming now. And JonnyREcco, oh, very nice. The hatchery actually gets cancelled by Ziktomini as well. I'm not sure 100% he had to cancel that, because it does, in fact, take that long to get there. He can at least use it as bait and wait a little while to try and stall JonnyREcco, but that isn't what happened in this particular case. We have the lings popping out now. It's going to be 6-on-6 with a drone in support for Ziktomini at the moment. JonnyREcco desperately trying to see if he can get a healthy amount of damage done. Actually doing quite a good job so far. And more lings, and the queen actually popping out now for Ziktomini as well. So JonnyREcco won't be able to win this fight, but he has put his hatchery down. It's 2/3 of the way complete now, and he is stopping Ziktomini from expanding. So that's really, really good stuff coming out of him there. And it looks like the queen targeting down the neutral supply depot just for a second there. Ziktomini's going to try and sneak in the hatchery. Will he actually get past? Yes, he does with the drone. And JonnyREcco going to try and force an instant cancel on that, but it's not going to work. Ziktomini will be able to force him out, and JonnyREcco goes home. But his hatch complete right now, so he will be able to get back into the lead of this game by doing a couple of rounds of drones off of 2 hatcheries worth of larvae. So that was a pretty exciting start to game number 2. JonnyREcco trying to see if he can get a quick build order win off Ziktomini, making Ziktomini cancel the hatchery at his natural expansion. And that meant that Zikto basically just had to defend. Managed to do that with the queen as well, of course, though. And JonnyREcco was forced to head home, but he did get his expansion down significantly earlier as a result, and that's going to be super useful for him. Zergling speed coming out now from both sides. A round of drones coming out from Ziktomini, but JonnyREcco trying to echo the sentiment. Ziktomini's currently had 26 workers to 24, but his hatchery's not finishing until about now, so JonnyREcco will probably have a bit of an advantage as far as getting those double queens out early is concerned. We'll be able to get a couple more injects, and he should catch up, if not exceed Zikto in the work supply very, very soon indeed. And he does that right now, actually, 28 to 26. We have got the that's coming down for Ziktomini. No such tech coming out from JonnyREcco at the moment. I think he might be waiting for 100 gas. Are we going to see a quick layer from him a little bit later on? I wonder, or are we, in fact, going to be seeing a Roach Warren or similar? Still no billionaires coming out of it. He's going up to 120 gas now. So either he's delaying this on purpose or he's going into something else. We'll just keep an eye out on that. And in the meantime, Bane Nest is nearly completed now for Ziktomini. And there we go. A quick layer coming out from Ziktomini as well. Interesting stuff there. And JonnyREcco is now sitting on 150 gas and still with no indication what he's doing with it. Maybe he's waiting for a scout. I can't be 100% sure. He's still doing another round of drones. And there, okay. So we are going straight for the Roach, Warren. Spent his gas a little bit late. Maybe he was just waiting to verify that there wasn't some sort of crazy killer attack coming in. But JonnyREcco has now decided on his tech. He's going to be a little bit later on the layer as well. And of course sees that Ziktomini does have banelings out on the field, so needs to be super careful with those. Oh, and speaking of super careful, one Zergling for one baneling is a fantastic trade. You want to be taking that all day long, because that just wastes the investment that you put into those banelings as well. So, of course, 25 minerals and 25 gas effectively being donated there. And Ziktomini will be able to force JonnyREcco's legs out of his natural expansion at this moment in time. The Roach one is complete for JonnyREcco. We have got the lair already finished for Ziktomini. He's up to about 200 gas now. So are we going to see a Spire go down? We'll find out in just a mo. A single baneling. In fact, a couple of random banelings moving out across the map with no Zergling support there from Ziktomini. Will he be able to get into the mineral line while the Lynx distract the other Zerglings from JonnyREcco here? They're getting into the natural expansion. It looks like it was close, but the Roaches able to fend them off for now. They're just going to be hanging out at the third base location at this moment in time. Spire going down for Ziktomini, by the way. We have it at about a quarter complete at the moment. And oh dear, another bad miss micro. One baneling lost once again for a single Zergling. And JonnyREcco will be able to hold this comfortably with Roaches, but he needs to be prepared for the follow-up as the Spire is now 50% complete. Another round of drones and missile attacks coming in from Ziktomini, but JonnyREcco perfectly happy to just continue getting his third base. Admittedly, both sides are getting the third. He's making another round of drones. He's going to go up to a healthy drone advantage as well. He's at 49 to 46 at the moment, but he's making more than his opponent as well. Both sides going for clear over Constitution and +1 missile attacks, so we're going to be transitioning into roughly the same thing, but Ziktomini has got his Spire effectively complete. JonnyREcco actually only just putting down his infestation pit. So he might not get pathogen glands and the first infestors out on the field by the time Ziktomini is able to harass with these Mutalisks. And that could be super annoying for JonnyREcco if we see Ziktomini go ultra aggressive with them. We do see JonnyREcco now putting down 5 Spore Crawlers. That is a large, large number. And that's because he knows he won't have those fungal growths out in time. So let's see how well this does for Ziktomini. He's trying to fend off this Roach push from JonnyREcco with the Mutas, but Honey Badger Roaches don't care, guys. There's absolutely nothing their Mutas can do to them. They're basically tickling their health bars, and they just really don't give a fox's rear end at all. And we have got pathogen glands now coming down for JonnyREcco, but the Mutas, of course, have been out on the map for a fair amount of time indeed. A 6th Spore Crawler coming down, presumably for good luck, and a huge round of drones coming in for him as well. That should be enough to destroy the Mutalisks for now. Ziktomini going to be going, about to finish his one attack on the Roaches about the same time as JonnyREcco as well. Trying to pick up a Queen here in the center of the map, will successfully do so. JonnyREcco coming back with some Roaches, so we have some Roach versus Roach Muta action coming down here near the natural expansion of JonnyREcco, and Ziktomini actually getting a good position there, but for some reason turning around. Maybe he was worried that the reinforcements would arrive too soon from JonnyREcco, and he'd be correct in assuming that they were just that much faster. But JonnyREcco at the moment looks like he's holding on comfortably. Spent a lot on those Spore Crawlers as well, and that really limits the amount of damage you can do with these Mutalisks early on in this game. And I think that DPS is really what's making the difference here between a losing army and a winning one, because JonnyREcco at the moment is actually getting picked apart. I'm a little surprised, and that might have something to do with not having infestors out on the field early enough, because Ziktomini is now moving forward and he is into the mineral line at the national expansion. That is not a place you want to be as Zerg. Really tough situation for JonnyREcco right now, making nothing but Roaches, completely forgot about infestors. And that's what happens. Heat of the moment, guys. Ziktomini is still just absolutely horrendous with these Mutalisks. He is down to 87 supply versus 94 versus JonnyREcco. But the work supply is currently 69 to 50 in Ziktomini's favor, and these Mutas are still continuing to do so much damage. JonnyREcco now deciding that a counterattack might be the best way to go here. He's going to be going for that in addition to 6 drones. He's getting +2 missile attacks as well, but Ziktomini opting for the armor upgrade. It looks like this counterattack at the third is not going to be thwarted by Ziktomini at this time. We've got a queen and a couple of roaches popping in. The mutas, of course, will make it an eventual Ziktomini victory, but they kill roaches so slowly that basically we have them ignoring the fact that the mutas are out there. Pathogen glands now about to complete for Ziktomini as well, so he'll be able to use his infestor count a little later in the game. Good reaction time, picking off all those SCVs in the main base and moving them to the natural expansion, while the roaches end up cleaning up as far as JonnyREcco is concerned. Going to be making his macro hatch now, and this could be the signal of some counter aggression. We'll have to wait and find out. In the meantime, we do actually have over in JonnyREcco's side of the world 3 infestors finally coming out, 4 now, but he got his infestation pit so much earlier than Ziktomini, and he just didn't use that to his advantage. So Zikto's actually going to be fairly even on the infestor count. He'll have a similar amount of energy as well, slight bit more to JonnyREcco, but nothing that's too noticeable, as we have got a little bit of an engagement going on at the third base location for JonnyREcco. This army from Zikto is completely poised to go in there. Wants to send in the mutas first, just to make sure exactly how many mules we have there, and if he could take it. It looks like he's feeling pretty confident. We have a lot of infested Terrans popping out now, and fungal or 2 on the roaches, but the DPS from the infested Terrans alongside the mutalisks as well. Just going to be absolutely huge for Ziktomini, but can he actually make it stick? No is the answer. What are the upgrades looking like? 1-0 versus 1-1. Ziktomini actually having the upgrade advantage there as well, but still unable to break through at the third base of JonnyREcco. He is ahead 136 to 122 supply, and the worker supply at the moment is dead even on 70, as JonnyREcco now goes for his Hydralisk Den. So Hydra Den and Macro Hatch coming out from JonnyREcco. Ziktomini still establishing map control with these mutas. He's really doing quite a good job of just making sure he is as many places as possible out on the map right now, which is really what he needs to do. Maybe getting burrow for those roaches, as is JonnyREcco doing, would be quite useful as well, since a lot of those roaches are actually on quite low health. And we've got a 4th base being taken at a very, very aggressive location for Ziktomini, wanting to spread his creep perhaps a little bit further towards the center of the map, not wanting to be pulled in too many directions by taking a base and risk it being sniped off in the top left corner. The Mute is still doing a good job of denying JonnyREcco map vision here. Very frustrating, of course, when it's off creep and the queens aren't around to assist, and you don't really want to be wasting fungal growths and infested Terrans on those units at all. So a lot of Hydralisks, though. That's going to be a pretty good replacement coming in here for JonnyREcco. Moving out towards the center of the map. Needs to make sure that he engages very well with them and that the roaches are in front. He cannot afford to let these Hydras get repeatedly fungled. And if Zikto manages to get a few good fungals off on these Hydras, that could change the course of the next engagement. Zikto is now at 200 supply, JonnyREcco at 179. It looks like both sides are considering breaking down the destructible rocks that determine the separation in the center of the map here and allow for easier reinforcement. We have got +2 missile attacks about to complete for Ziktomini. Groove Spines also for him as well, and we have a burrow, so that's going to be really useful for him. But is it going to be enough to defeat JonnyREcco? We'll find out in just a moment. JonnyREcco is currently at 2-0 upgrade. Ziktomini is at 1-1, but it's going to be 2-1 in about 3 seconds. So Ziktomini has got the upgrade advantage. He needs to get the roaches to the front and the Hydras behind the roaches and the infestors behind the Hydras. And no, he's sending most of his force off onto a flank. Okay, this could work really well for Zikto, but it could also backfire. Let's see what JonnyREcco's reaction to it is here. A small force of units up at the top, and it looks like JonnyREcco going to be sending in a little bit of a counterattack with 2 sneaky infestors here, but the spine crawlers are going to spot it at the third base location, and one of them goes down, and the second one is going to get picked off as well. So he does get the infested Terrans off. The queen goes down, and a healthy number of drones might go down as well if they successfully take apart the spine crawler. But we have the engagement going on towards the 4th base of JonnyREcco here, and Ziktomini getting a superior concave. And with that upgrade advantage, it looks like he might in fact be able to take this game at number 2. Still a lot of roaches and Hydras left here A good decision for him to leave the Hydras in the back. Those Roaches soaking up the damage like they should, and the DPS from the Hydras following up very, very nice. Indeed, going to be moving towards the third base now, and if he denies that, I think it's going to be curtains here for JonnyREcco in game 2. A fresh army coming out from JonnyREcco, a lot of DPS coming in, but these oh dear, the Hydras are actually very exposed right now. Infested Terrans coming in to help the party. Is it going to be enough DPS to stop it though? And JonnyREcco looking like he will in fact push Ziktomini back. The Hydras just aren't able to tank enough damage, and JonnyREcco does survive with his third base intact, but the fourth has now gone. Moving up now, and Ziktomini going to try and get as much damage done to JonnyREcco as humanly possible here. Not retreating with this army. He's in fact just going to be moving back with the infested that are out of energy, and with the superior upgrades, it's just so difficult for JonnyREcco to defend him. He's down to 128 supply off of one base less as far as lava are concerned, and we have a fresh attack into the third base location. It looks like Ziktomini is going to be able to take game number 2 here, and JonnyREcco will have to tap out very soon indeed. There is the GG. Ziktomini levels the series to 1-all.